All right, so before we dive into Operly, the AI agent, I want to share this because this hit me a couple of weeks ago when I was on a stage and I was talking to a couple hundred business owners. And I said, how many of you have noticed, or you've been around long enough on this planet, that when you were a kid, you remember when we just used to go outside and play in nature, but in the last 5 to 10, maybe 15 years, we've got this whole digital world that has trapped us. We're always on screens, whether it's a phone or a laptop or a TV or something like that, and that this digital world has gotten us to the place where we're actually starting to feel overwhelmed. We're starting to feel to the point where, and type this in the chat, how many of you are to the point where you're like, okay, I don't even want to check my emails because I've got all these emails and WhatsApps and signals. And, in my case, I've got Slack channels for every one of my companies. One of my companies has hundreds of employees and thousands of salespeople. And just that one Slack thread can have 2 to 3 thousand messages a day. And that's one of 6 companies that I'm involved in, right? So how many of you gotten to that point where you just don't even want to mess with it? You're like, I don't even I have dissonance. I'm ready to avoid this. All right. So I noticed this was happening. And the second big thing I want to talk about this 3D world, this physical world that's now being merged with this digital world is I noticed that most of the people are going to stay at this level, the physical world with the digital world. And my example is my mom, who's amazing. She's 76 years old, and she loves using Amazon.com because she can put something in her shopping cart and get it the next day. That's her level of engagement with it. She does not want to know about all the AI. She does not have an interest or really want to know too much about the blockchain, even though she's a node owner along with many of you. By the way, if I say nodes and blockchain, how many of you know what I'm talking about? Type nodes if it's a yes. And if you're not, just say not really. Okay, cool. So when I say something like that, you guys get it. So here's what's actually being built across the world. And this is what's super exciting to me. And then I'm going to take you into the AI platform. About 3 to 4 years ago, I was sharing this image with people. And I said, when people were just learning about ChatGPT, I said, this is great, but we're going to move from LLMs and chatbots to agents. We're all going to have an army of agents in this agentic layer that are going to manage our emails, our calendars, our social, our commerce, our businesses. And there's a hierarchy to these agents. And I'm going to show you guys that in a minute because I didn't see anybody building it. So on Christmas Eve, Kim Garsh says, you know what? I'm going to start coding it. I'm going to start building this platform that allows you to manage your digital world with the use of agents. And that's what we're going to show you tonight with Operly. Now, that AI world is being built on top of what? It's being built on top of a blockchain layer. And what does that do? It gives us freedom, privacy, security, and ownership. Okay. It creates trust and transparency. And it also stores and hides or keeps private a lot of that data. So does this graph kind of help you understand that there's 3 layers? There's this top layer, the 3D world, that 99.9% of the people are going to live up here. And then those of you who are in this AI and this blockchain layer, you're actually in the 1% right now. Now, the rest of the world may use it, but you're starting to learn it. Okay, this is an important framework, and I just wanted to present this because right as we were getting ready to start, Lisa says, hey, can you please share with everybody this overall concept of where we are and where we're headed? And the other big piece I'm going to share with you is what I call an army of agents. And I'm going to show this because we are transitioning in the last 30 days very quickly from just people being aware of something called chatbots, right? Which or an LLM, 2 different things, but similar. A chatbot or an LLM, I type something in like, hey, what are the flights going from San Juan to San Diego tomorrow? I'm going to put that in there and it's going to give me a response back. So it's input, output. All right. Now, an agent, I can tell it, I want to be in San Diego tomorrow by 5 p.m. And it's going to go out and it's going to know the goal. So I give it the goal or the outcome, and it's going to figure out everything it has to do to identify that flight, confirm it with me, and book that flight. That's the difference. An agent, you give an outcome and it figures out how to do it. A chatbot, you have to kind of keep putting input out, put input, output. You have to work with it. So what I'm going to show you now is something that I shared with people 3 years ago when they were just getting excited about ChatGPT. And I'm like, that's great, but let me give you guys a peek, because I've been sharing this for over 6 years about AI, machine learning, and LLMs. But check this out. This is what every one of us is going to have. Every business owner and every employee is going to have an army of agents that are doing the work for you. So you're going to have this executive director agent. Okay. This executive director agent sits on top of the rest of the agents. And you're going to have this manager level. So you might have a communication manager who orchestrates and delegates your communications. Okay. You might have a project manager. You might have a research manager. You might have a content manager. And those managers sit on top of what we call task-specific agents. So a communication manager would sit on top of and check the work of a Slack agent, a calendar agent. And that calendar agent might get your calendar events, create your calendar events, update your calendar, right? It's going to work just with your one or multiple calendars. An email agent, a LinkedIn agent, a WhatsApp agent, a voice agent. Does this make sense that all of these agents would report up to a communication agent that would report to an executive director or a digital twin? And then each one of these would have a specific job and do specific things. All right. Why do we need that? Because task agents get confused. They get overwhelmed, just like humans. So how many of you can see a future where one person could run $1 billion company with an army of agents, or in our case, we have hundreds of employees, but each of them could do exponentially more because they have an army of agents that's already trained on the job or the tasks. Does this make sense? If you understand the big picture of what I was just explaining, and then you understand the agent structure, now it's going to be simpler to understand Operly. And just so I know, how many of you type into the chat, how many of you are already using Operly? You have an account and you started using it. And then if you aren't, say not yet, so I can get an idea of where to take this. Okay, because I'm going to share with you the 3 to 4 really cool use cases, and then we can brainstorm for a little bit. All right, my hopes are by the end of tonight, you, number one, understand that AI agents are simpler to use and deploy today than they've ever been, okay? And you're not going to have to set up a Mac Mini. You're not going to have to set up a virtual private server and then deploy guardrails. You're not going to have to pay somebody to come into your house and to set these things up. And you're not going to have to pay somebody thousands of dollars every time that the code changes and it breaks and you have to go back through. All right, that's the beauty of Operly. So I see some not yets, all right, and I see some yeses. Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through this and then we'll leave some time for questions, but I'm going to go through a quick overview of Operly and then just show you a couple of use cases, because the fun is in getting in and using this thing. It is amazing how cool this software is. All right, so can you see the screen here? This is just the Operly homepage, okay? Awesome. All right. So I'm going to do a quick overview of this because I always do this. And then I'm going to take you inside Operly and show you what it looks like to automate your life using AI. Now, what's the problem we solve? I'm a big believer, solve one problem and have one solution. Right now, that digital overwhelm is being accelerated because just last year alone, there were 24,000 AI companies, not just AI tools, but actual AI companies that were born. Okay. So keeping up with the tools and keeping up with the companies is almost impossible. And what it's created is it's created digital overwhelm. People are disconnecting, which is great. Go back to nature, spend more time with family. We want that. But don't drop the opportunity that's sitting right in front of us. Actually scale, looks like we got some background noise coming in. So let's not miss the big opportunity for us to leverage AI. Do we have a moderator? I think somebody's name. Okay. You know what? That's a perfect example of digital overwhelm versus peace. How many of you just got that live experience? Okay. All right. That's what it feels like for most people. They're in digital overwhelm. All right. So here we go. So one workspace for all of your agents to live. And what's cool is that you don't need more tools, all right? You don't need ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, Claude, all right, at 20, 60, $200 a month. You don't need to have Notion AI for your project management or Jasper for your marketing or Superhuman to get your inbox to zero. It's $30 a month to keep your inbox to zero, right? Or Motion or Zapier or Canva Pro to create your slide decks and your visuals. Operly has it all, plus hundreds of more AI tools in one place. How cool is this, right? So imagine if tonight you had an AI team that would help you manage your life and your business. If you had a COO for operations, you had a CMO for your marketing, you had an executive assistant that sat over everything, you had your tasks and projects being created and organized and completed in real time by your AI. Okay, how cool is that? And you have a calendar system, an email system that's all synced, and your AI knows everything that's going on. How cool is that? Right? And what if you could tie in your Telegram, your Slack, eventually your WhatsApp and Signals, and you could automate things? This is what Operly is. So, are you ready to go inside? You want to go check it out? And by the way, what if you could do all of that for $50 to $200 a month? All right, I'm going to just tell you the price up front. It's $50 to start. $200 is fully loaded, has all the automations. It has a lot more tokens and things like that. So it's a really cool platform. All right, and we're inside. So notice what it does first is it greets me. Good evening, Jim. It knows where I'm at. It knows that I'm in Puerto Rico. So here's what most people use this for. And I'm going to use voice into it to text right now, but I could use voice to voice. So watch this. I would like to be in San Diego Friday. Please give me a list of first class flights from San Juan to San Diego with the best route. Now, most of you are used to using AI for things like this, right? How many of you are using AI like this? It's doing Google type research for you, okay? Now, every time I put something in Google, it doesn't know all my preferences and all my habits, but I'm training my AI, my Operly, which means operate simply, to understand everything about me. So it's researching the first class flights. It's giving my itinerary. Look at how fast and easy that is. All right. Now, what you're noticing is I have an agent. Notice it says Tommy's recommendation. I have trained an agent called Tommy the Travel Agent, okay, that knows my specifics. I'll teach you how to do this later. It comes pre-populated with some of these things, but we're creating master agents that know my preferences, know my airline miles numbers, know what hotels I like to stay in. They know where I live and where I typically go. So as you educate or train your agents, they will make better decisions for you. All right. So you can use ChatGPT like that, or if you want, you can use voice to voice. So many of you use this for ChatGPT. So if I go, let me see if this works. We're on a video conference, so it may be a little funky. Hey, Operly, did I miss any important emails in the last 60 minutes?
You've had emails for the last, most look like there is one particularly regarding transfer. Here are the significant ones. One, wire update. Sally at RB.
All right, I'm not going to tell you my wire transfers, but you get the idea. Okay. So what did it just do? It went through not just one of my email inboxes, but it went through all of my email boxes for each of my companies and my personal that fast. So I have connected Operly to my Google emails and my Microsoft emails so that it knows everything that's coming in, and I can give it feedback. I can have it creating auto replies. Let me see if there's anything okay. So let me do this. All right, here we go. This is one. So what it's doing is it's summarizing the email, so I don't have to read the whole thing, okay, that this guy's coming to the AI mastermind. And if I wanted to, it can draft an auto reply right here. How cool is that? So, yep, here's the date, da, 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 da. How awesome is that? All right. So emails are connected. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. I'm going to discard that draft, right? But I get a lot of emails, as you can imagine. I also have it connected to all of my calendars. So it's reading my calendars in real time. Now, how is this cool? The other day, Tony Swantek and I were talking. He goes, dude, this was crazy. I booked a flight to the Netherlands. My AI realized that I have a standing call, a rally call during my flight time. And my AI asked me, hey, Tony, in the morning brief or check-in, hey, Tony, you have a call schedule while you're in flight. Would you like me to A, reschedule your flight, B, reschedule the meeting, C, tell them to do the meeting without you? And he was like, this is amazing. He goes, he trained his AI. He goes, hey, Operly, I will rarely ever want you to change a flight over a meeting. Just tell them to do it without me. Operly says, great, memory noted. I will let them know to schedule the meeting or to reschedule them, to do the meeting without you. So it knows your calendar, it knows your schedule, and it can work around that in real time. So how do you do this? It's super simple. This is the first thing I tell people to do. Come in here to settings, hit integrations, and connect your accounts, right? So how easy is it? Click the Add Google button, hit this, boom. One button, it automatically starts importing it. Super simple. All right. What about other email accounts like Microsoft? Same thing. You can connect your Microsoft or your Apple. You can connect your messaging apps, Telegram and Slack. You can even connect any other thing like your CRM, HubSpot, or Go High Level or whatever with Zapier, webhooks, or APIs. A little more advanced, but here's the step one. Connect it so it starts to learn about you. Now, how many of you, type it in the chat, have been using ChatGPT for a year or two or three, or Claude or Grok or Perplexity, and you're like, man, I would rather have one workspace instead of bouncing around and one monthly fee, no contracts, cancel at any time, versus all these other AIs. Look how easy it is. You literally export from Claude or GPT and you import right here. I did mine. It took less than 60 seconds. And then the 3.5 years that I've been training it, it automatically knows all that data. Is that cool or what? Okay. One workspace, all my data. All right. So very, very cool. Let me take you to the second most important piece. Now, I showed it to you here and I said, oh, I've got Tommy, the travel agent. I've got my executive assistant. You can default it to that. But I've got all these other agents that are pre-built, and then I built some. So the normal question is, cool, how do I build agents, or how do I see my agents? Well, number one, you can click on chat and you can do the drop down and manage team, right? This will take you right to it. And here you can see all the agents I have. Now we're going to go ahead and create an agent in real time right from here. Okay. So what's cool is I can click this button to create a team member. Now here's the deal. It's going to take me longer to explain it than it would to actually create one. But we're going to create one in real time so you can see how you don't have to set up a Mac Mini or an OpenClaw or anything. You can literally create unlimited agents to start automating your life and business ASAP. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to name it and make it fun. I'm going to go, let's go Tommy. And actually, let's do Sally, the SEO expert. All right. So obviously I want to update that, or I'm sorry, I want to create an agent that's going to help me with the SEO on my website. So what's her title? SEO consultant and strategist. All right. So boom. What has it got to be good at? Well, content creation, probably market research, and what else? Data analysis. All right. Boom. Balanced. What do I want my communications? Let's just make it balanced. I would like it to be, let's see, direct. All right. And what else? Professional. Okay. Now, communication do's and don'ts. What do I want it to do? Use accurate data and clear communication. What don't I want it to do? Never hallucinate, never make up data, and never be condescending or demeaning. All right, what am I doing? I'm training my agent on how to communicate. So who's the target audience? So in this case, I'm going to make this an internal agent for my Operly AI business. All right, so boom. Now, final piece. Most other platforms require you to write a prompt for the agent, but not here. All I have to do is click this button, generate instructions. What it's doing in 15 to 30 seconds is it's building the prompt or the information that's going to train your agent. Now, we didn't give it a lot of data, but check this out. It instantly created the prompt, and we can edit this, we can replace this, or we can just use it. Okay. So look at what it did. You are Sally, a seasoned SEO consultant and strategist with over 15 years experience in digital marketing. Your primary role is to serve as the internal SEO intelligence for the Operly AI. You specialize in driving organic growth, optimizing visibility, and ensuring all content and technical assets. Pretty cool, right? What's the expertise? Content creation and optimization with SEO. Now, look, we didn't say this. Content strategies, keyword mapping, and on-page optimization. Pretty important. Now, if I wanted to, I could just add more things to it, right? Market research, identifying competitor gaps, trend forecasting, audience persona development. You get the point, right? This is pretty sophisticated right out of the box. And look at this. It took me longer to explain it than to actually create it. So look at this. Sally is an agent, right? Sally, the SEO expert, has just been created. 60 seconds or less, you can create as many agents as you want to help you with marketing, lead generation, branding, sales, conversions, analyzing webinars, doing customer support, doing outreach, reading your emails, booking your calendars, running your travel, whatever it is, you can create these agents. And we are going to be running classes to teach you how to build what I call master agents that are very sophisticated. As a matter of fact, I've got a whole list of these things right here that we're starting to build out, these master agents and meta prompts. So we'll talk about that at a later date. But you can see how easy this is and how sophisticated this can be. Now, what's also cool, final piece, and I know I'm doing a little bit of training, but I think this is important. You now have what? You have an AI that can learn about you. You can chat with it. You can have it do whatever you want. It's going to be able to read your emails. It's going to manage your calendar, right? It's also going to come with a team of agents already built that you can add to or you can customize. But you can also attach these agents to what's called a knowledge base. Think of a knowledge base like a big filing cabinet that whatever you want to put in there, those agents are going to know. So each one of these are companies, like Connect is a company, Impact CEOs, Operly AI, Power is my energy company with hundreds of employees, Ultimate Life is another company I own. So these are all companies I own. And then I have one for private and personal knowledge base for the Bunch family. This is where I keep our health data and our financial data, and where I'll be building our health agents and our financial agents and attaching them to the documents inside. We'll teach you more about this later, but the key is get it to manage your communications, build your agents, and help these agents become smarter at running your life and your business. That's the main key. What's also cool, final piece here, is the referrals. Every single Operly account is automatically an affiliate, and you can literally copy this link, share it with people, and now you can offset your costs, or you can even start earning some additional income and rewards by promoting this software. But the key to it is use it to make your life better, faster. That's the key.